We can dance if you want to. We can leave your friends behind. Because your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
Kill it with fire!
Minutes ago. There we go. Sorry, guys. Hi. 안녕하세요.
100% professional stream every single time.
Yes, I didn't need Bantan for this one. When the darkness comes and there's nowhere you can run. Now I got a song stuck in my head. Thank you, Atheist. But that's not hard to do.
I mean, it's good that we're back, and the first thing that happens is technical issues. At least nothing has changed over our break.
Right?
Well, that's good to know.
My avatar decided she wanted to be retired, so new avatar.
Well, I mean, new avatar, new you, instead of new year, new me kind of thing.
No TikTok. We got games instead.
Yes, TikTok. TikTok is going away, and the people on TikTok are absolutely losing their mind over it. Look, it will come back in a different version. There will be, like, Vine came back as TikTok. It'll be there.
But my connection to Soul, my connection to the deaf community.
You will find another one. Just like people are downloading the actual Chinese propaganda app. What is it called? Red Spot or something like that?
Little Red Book, also known as Red Note.
Yeah, Red Note. There you go. Yes, let's go from the one that was supposedly Chinese propaganda to the one that is actually Chinese propaganda. Why not?
Trolling at its highest epicness to the government.
Apparently, there are people on, like, Americans on that Red Note are like, oh my god, the Chinese people are nice.
Yeah.
Well, no shit. Most people are nice. They just have been told certain things about our country, just like we've been told certain things about their country.
And also, it's a culture thing. They're more of a communal culture where we're more individual.
Well, I do have some news.
I'm scared.
Well, it's good news and it's bad news. I have a couple bits of news. I mean, might as well catch everyone else up on.
He's abandoning us. I know it.
I'm first pouring alcohol because that's what's needed every single day. No, first, I am still in the process of doing my second job, so streams on Wednesdays are not going to return as of yet, but they will be there soon, hopefully. Hopefully by the end of this month, like, I will be able to, unless the author has finished publishing the third book in the trilogy, I will have a break that I will be able to do normal things, which I really want to do, because the second part is, well, I am trying to collect the Manosphere block Infinity Stones, apparently. I have been blocked by Myron Gaines. I have been blocked by Rolo Tomasi. I have been blocked by Andrew Tate. And now his wonderful map of a brother, Tristan Tate. I just need one more and I have the set. And I'm trying to get blocked by Pearl.
I thought you already were blocked by Pearl.
No, I'm not, surprisingly. Believe it or not, she actually responded to me a couple of weeks ago. I made fun of her for one of her dumb posts. I know it's shocking to figure she had a dumb post, but she was making a joke, and I pointed out that she sounded dumb while making the joke, and she was like, I was just joking. And my response to her was, what, as opposed to every other time?
I have a block that you don't have.
Are you blocked by Pearl?
Mm-hmm.
How did you accomplish it? Oh, you need to tell me your secret. She is my soul stone for my Infinity Gauntlet.
I don't know what I did. Just like I'm not 100% sure on how I keep getting blocked by George Takai with every Twitter account I've ever had.
I blocked his crazy ass a long time ago.
Hey, he blocks me. I don't block him.
Well, according to hey, there are ads.
Yeah. I don't miss that.
I have Matthew McConaughey on the screen.
But yeah, so our season break was fun for me. Not really. It's been an adventure. Very, very
Please.
much.
Do tell.
Well, we do have the by phone. It's nice knowing you. Anyways, we do have the TikTok ban, and that was kind of sad, and I'm not a fan of that. But while scrolling on TikTok with the little time that we have left, I did end up making a friend. He does Uber rides and all that, and he does content around it. His name is Malachi. He has a channel called Rides with Malachi. I made him get an Instagram because he was only on TikTok. And I told him that this ban was serious. Well, we met because he made a post about animals and Uber. And then in the comment section, somebody started talking about service animals. Well, that's an expertise of me. I mean, I kind of have one of those, so I kind of should know the laws and shit with that, you know?
Right.
I ended up getting in an argument with this one dumbass who thinks service dogs are fake, doesn't understand the difference between a sport dog, a working dog, an emotional sport dog, and a service dog. He thinks that these are just people using their disability to get their ways.
To be fair, there are a lot of people going around now that have found out you can call something a emotional support something or other, and you can bring them into stores, you can take them on a plane, you can bring them into restaurants.
They don't know the laws, and it's kind of funny. People just don't know what questions you can ask. You cannot take emotional support animal into a store. You cannot take an emotional support animal to anything that says no animals allowed. The emotional support animal only law-wise is hotels, apartment complexes, and renting.
I agree with you, but the problem is no one knows really the rules about them. So when you say this is my emotional support snake, most stores will just be like, "Oh, okay, so it's one of those service animal things," and they'll just leave it be. It's people are taking advantage, so a lot of people just believe it's fake. I know it's not.
The best way to know if it's a fake service animal or not, and this is by law. There are two questions you can ask. Is this a service animal needed for a disability? Does this service animal provide a task to help with a disability? And those that are faking it tell you cannot ask those questions. It is in the ADA that you are required to ask those when they go into your establishment. Those that have real service animals are happy when the people ask those questions because it says you know the law.
No, I get that. I do. I'm just
they were fake, and I'm like, the fuck.
I do know for a fact that service animals are trained to do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
They are supposed to be able to, like, if someone can't really walk, they're the ones who go to be able to open the door.
I'll get to that. Just patience. We'll get to that.
Oh, yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, I saw that too.
Anyways, back to service animals.
Yeah, they're actually supposed to be able to do something. Like, they can't do cooking and things like that, but they can help you open the door. They can help you, walk to certain things. They can help. There are some that I know are trained to, like, start a bath or a shower. They are extremely well trained, and most of the time, if they're in training, they have like a vest on them that says "Please do not touch."
Yeah, and it says in training. It says or service dog in training or something along those lines. My service dog, as you all guys know, I have a disability that I have plastered on everything. But I also have other disabilities. Surprise, surprise. My service dog is what's called a multitask service dog because I have multiple disabilities that needs a service animal. One of the tasks is to actually react to sounds, which causes a lot of people that doesn't understand thinking that my dog is not a service dog because she is reacting to sounds. It is so that way I know where sounds are coming from, so I know if people are trying to sneak up on my ass. And then I have POTS. So my dog is supposed to make sure I don't pass out while walking down the stairs, basically. There's more to it, but yeah. But back on the sound thing, because she is reactive to sound and all that, people think that she is not a real service dog when she is actually tasking because I cannot hear worse shit. My lovely twin that is here can vouch for I am deaf as a doornail. Which sucks. But it is what it is, and I need her to react to sounds so I know where things are or in case something's going to try and fall on my head.
Yeah.
Dog makes Banshee say, yes, yes, yes. She does that often. She does get very aggressive about making me set too.
That just means she's a good dog.
Yeah. But yeah, back to the ASL thing.
I saw what started it, which was an African American man. He was with the what was it? It was a police press conference talking about was it talking about Luigi? It was talking about something bad that had just happened.
That's interesting because the one that I've been seeing that started is some activist dude that was on TV for the fires, and he was bitching and moaning about the interpreter in the corner claiming
That's
that.
right. Yeah. He was moving a little more fluid, or he had more rhythm than he should have, so it was performative. No, you use your fucking hands to do this.
It's not just your hands, it's your facial expression, your body, everything.
So it's dumb. It's
saying,
stupid.
Let's get back to basics and remove the ASL interpreter when we're talking about emergency things. Pisses me off.
I think, was it Mike Cernovich who said it? I think it was Mike Cernovich or Elijah Schaefer, one of those talking head idiots who apparently doesn't know how, American Sign Language works.
But, he makes the comment that we should go back to basics. Captions was good enough. No, they're not. When it comes to the deaf community, we have late deaf, which captions would be good enough. Then we got people born deaf, where ASL is their first language. We got hearing people that's born from a deaf adult, that ASL is their first language, and ASL is not signed English. There is a huge different communications, and also when we're talking about emergency, the captions has something like a 5-minute lag time. 5 minutes is important when it comes to emergencies. And then you add on top of that, language deprivation. Just because you know the word is the, do you understand what the word the means? Like, there's reasons we need the ASL interpreter, and it pisses me off. Yes, captions don't work for real life, and captions doesn't always work. I agree, atheist, and I've been preaching that forever.
And now they rely on AI captions most of the time.
And they're not accurate.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some really good AI captions, like the one that you're using right now, does work. but
Ish.
I could say something. I was watching Leon Lush. I was watching a Leon Lush video, and the girl he was watching that had the captions done in AI said beach,
Hmm.
but her speech was slurred because she was drunk off her ass and making a scene. So the captions, the automatic captions, thought she said speech.
Hmm.
So she was there to take a speech. And it's like, no, that's not how that works. So, like, Christopher Rufo, he pointed out, it was Christopher Rufo, another political idiot talking head. Most Have you noticed, because you've been around the internet just about as long as I have
Yeah.
you noticed that all of the old guard have gone absolutely fucking bonkers? Like they have gone to the extreme.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like Sargon of Akkad has fallen off
Hmm.
after his attempt at a run of political office.
Yeah.
And
Adding on it, it's not just Christopher Rufo. It was also Charlie Clark. Was the other one that said it. He's the one that said it during the California fires.
Charlie, I like listening to Charlie. He makes good points, but there are times that even someone who makes good points on a lot of things as dumb as a brick. Like I know I'm not hyper intelligent or well spoken on everything, and there have probably been some stupid things I've said,
Okay.
but I don't have millions of followers.
When it comes to captions, we both know, and I know everyone in chat knows I do use them. Sometimes they're all like right. We all know I also have ties to Seoul, and I do pay attention to the live news in South Korea. We all know this. I hate the fact that my second country always has an ASL interpreter in anything to do with news. Everything that is important for communication because of a law South Korea has passed in 2016, everything news or meeting of communication has a Korean Sign Language interpreter, the exact same square size as we use for the emergency services. But yet, here in the States, the country I am born from, we are talking about losing my access to information. What the fuck?
People are dumb. I
Why
mean,
is my second country giving me more access than my home country?
they. What was Ishtar was listening to something today on TikTok, actually, that was describing um the states, describing how people describe America. Like Seoul, South Korea, is an entire country, and it's smaller than the US, right? I think it's
It's about the
the
same size
size.
as Denver when it comes to mile wise.
Uh, the entirety of South Korea.
Not the entire of Seoul. The South Korea itself is about the same size as New England.
So still pretty small.
Yeah.
So this person was talking about how foreigners tend to be like, why can't all Americans be a certain way? Now follow my logic here with how this is being interpreted by other countries. Every state is different, and I do mean every state. There is a difference between Mississippi and a
I don't
difference
know.
between Louisiana.
Ishtar, have you seen the Brit that comes over all the time to the States? I think his name is Josh. Just curious.
But as she put, it's basically we're 50 different countries in one.
Yeah.
So that's why there's not really a consensus
This
of everything.
British person that I'm talking about, that's exactly what he said. Is we don't need to be well traveled We don't need to leave our country because we are well traveled, because we are 50 states, 50 countries masking as one country.
Yeah. Like me. So someone from Italy will have traveled to Germany, France, England, Ireland, Scotland, Norway, Denmark, right? They will have traveled all over because it's very clumped together. And yes, they're each different countries, and they each have their own, their own uh, um, nationalities, and they have their own. What's the word I'm looking for? It's on the tip of my tongue. See, this is what happens when I crash after work. My brain hasn't restarted yet. But they're all different, but you have your own experiences in each one because of how close they are. That's America all the time. Ishtar and I are going to be going to Southern California here very soon, right? We're in Washington right now. Going from, as simple as going from Washington to Oregon is different. And we're going 2 states.
What amuses me when we're especially talking about Europeans as a whole, they sit there and get mad at us when we tell them, why haven't you seen your mom? She's only an hour away. They get mad at us because, oh, that's a long drive. We're here
No.
in the States, an hour drive is on average what we do to get to work.
I was going to say, that's Ishtar and my drive to work and drive home. If we're lucky, the drive to work is 30 minutes. If we're very unlucky, it's an hour and a half.
Seriously, it's an hour drive and you're not going to your mom's. Where on average in the States, that's a drive to work.
So but that's why, like, there's so many different people saying, there are people who believe, okay, we don't need the interpreters. We don't have a consensus, right? There are people with a large following saying, hey, we don't need this. Let's go ahead and work on captions instead. Captions don't necessarily work. And then you have other people going, listen, dumb fucks, we still need this because captions aren't caught up yet. This isn't Star Trek, not yet. We're getting there, but
it's not good enough. ASL is a total different language with different grammar and syntax.
Do you want to know one of the wildest experiences I've seen? I've had this happen twice. Ishtar and I have gone to the theater, and I do mean theater. We went to go see Moulin Rouge. Now, Moulin Rouge had interpreters. Two of them. One for the female.
Theater productions that the deaf community loves.
Yeah, it had 2 interpreters. One female for all the female voices, and one male. And during the songs, they moved their bodies as well to let people who couldn't hear the music know that music was playing. Now, that same theater, we went to go see Elijah Schlesinger. She's a stand-up comedian. She's hilarious. If you haven't heard anything she's done, I suggest you go watch her. She's one of the funniest female comedians I think is out there right now. She had an interpreter, and she messed with the sign language interpreter. She tried to see if they would do what she was saying by talking to them. It was a really funny bit, but they had them there, and they are expressive, and the expressions and how they move their hands, how they nod their head, everything is something that is up for interpretation, that has something added to it.
Facial expression is equal to tone of voice. If you don't have facial expression, it is basically talking monotone.
And the Eliza Schlesinger did have someone in the back that was running the lights and stuff, doing captions. Like, there was the interpreter, and then there was captions behind them. But the captions were always like 30 seconds behind the interpreter. If you get a good sign language interpreter, they are talking at the same, or I would say 30 seconds, not 30 seconds, but like maybe 10 seconds behind, because they're hearing and they're doing the motions. And it's like, I'm trying not to make a joke of it, but this is a good comparison. It's like old Chinese kung fu movies. You know, their lips move and then they speak.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but it's their hands move 10 seconds afterwards. So they're still needed, because we can't, a person who is a court reporter who is extremely good at shorthand and picking up words and things that the judge says and the plaintiff says and all that, they're very fast. But even they're slower than a really good sign language interpreter.
You know what I find funny? This is usually something I would do lecturings, and I was in the middle of doing a lecture, but yet you took it over.
That's what I do. It is a bingo card.
It is. I'm trying to find where the animal. That's why I brought it up, because Valkyr was yelling at me.
Ah.
He just wanted to say hi and get pets. Because he's a 20-pound cat that just thinks he's 7 months old. But yeah, speaking of theater, if you guys ever want to actually see an amazing deaf performance, Deaf West, that is a group. They do a lot of theaters, and most of it is in ASL. It's amazing. They do have people that do speak. They also have speech interpreters, because it's mostly in ASL. It's like a flip of the world, and it's really good. It's a must-watch type of thing. I love it.
So with this whole ASL thing, I saw it was going around on Twitter for about a day, maybe two, and then it just died. Because I think
it's all over
this
TikTok.
Well, it won't be for long. Well, I'm kind of glad I never did start a book talk thing and get invested in it. But I know it's a trend. Like, I haven't seen a lot of it talking about, like, on YouTube Shorts. And on Twitter, it's been, X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. It was news for like a day, and then it disappeared. I don't think anything's going to come from it.
Oh no, that's messing with the ADA, and those are lawyers that I don't want to mess with.
Yeah, I think too, people put their feet in their mouths, and kind of backed away from it right away, which is fine. Like,
I would like to point out, the interpreter does not take half of the screen.
No, for that one, it wasn't half, but they were, like, I wouldn't say prominently featured, but they were a third of the screen, which is fine. You're supposed to be. That's full length. You're not supposed to be watching, like, it was a press conference. They're not doing performances. The fire chief of LA is not juggling.
I would like
there's nothing being taken away from them.
I would like to point out, if the ASL interpreter is distracting you from the massive, important information that is being given, go get yourself checked out for ADHD. Just saying.
So I don't think it's a big deal personally. I think
it's a big deal when it comes to them saying something and people believing that there's no need for it. It just goes to show that there's still a lot of work needing to be done for accessibility. I just hate the fact that my second country, I have more accessibility than my home country.
To be fair, there are people in America that still believe the world is flat.
There's people that believe the world is flat in Korea too.
That's what I'm saying. Just because someone says something and they have people who believe them doesn't mean they're right.
I mean, you're not wrong.
There was a huge, speaking of flat Earth, there was a huge flat earther who went somewhere. I can't to the Arctic Circle or something like that to do an experiment with someone who wasn't a flat earther, and the flat earther said, "Hey, I was wrong. The Earth is round." All of his flat Earth buddies said that he was bought out by the government immediately. He is now a shill. He's lied about everything. Like, it doesn't matter if you prove these people wrong or not. Their followers will continue to believe what they believe.
Atheists, I agree with that one 100%. And that's also part of the reason why TikTok is being banned. The news media is all bought out by big corporations that has a narrative to push. Everything is bought out by some lobbyist or big corporation that is lobbying for something and pushing for something. Even Biden said in his final speech, which shocked me, we do not live in a democracy, we live in an oligarchy.
Well, I would love to say it's a meritocracy. I would.
But
The elites run the country.
oligarchy.
If the government, this is something that I've seen on Twitter a few times, but it was also something that I had seen way back when when MySpace was a big thing.
Miss MySpace.
I'm aging myself here a little bit.
The audience thinks I was born in the 1800s.
The government would be more for the people if Congress and the Senate were actually paid the same wage as a normal worker in the country.
I think that especially with what the Congress said, that they don't want to up the minimum wage nationally. I think that they should be paid the national minimum wage.
They should. They should be making the same amount as they should be making the same amount as someone in minimum wage in their state.
Nah, national minimum wage. That's
the national minimum wage is still $7.50.
$7.21.
21 cents. Oh, I'm giving them credit. So Seattle just went up to state minimum wage, not federal, went up to $20.76. And that's just for Seattle. California is pushing for a $25 minimum wage.
I think Colorado is, as the whole state, is 15, and Denver is at 16.50.
Yeah. So they do need to raise the federal minimum wage, which would be a cost of living increase.
Yes.
But they don't want to do a cost of living increase because, so here's how it works. Cost of living increase, federal minimum wage let's say it goes from $7.21 to $10. That means all the prices have to stay the same, but everyone gets a $3 increase, or $2.79 increase, which would allow people to afford more. But if you do a state minimum wage, everyone's wages do go up, but the businesses that are in that state can then compensate for that change.
But just hear me out. They get paid the national minimum wage. We put term limits also on them. Watch how fast shit gets done in our favor.
Oh, no, I agree with you 100%. 100%. Term limits for Congress and the Senate need to happen. And again, one of the arguments against it is, well, then they won't do anything. Of course they will. You give them two terms, like the presidency, and they get shit done. So their first term, it's about making sure people do what, vote them in the second time. Just like every presidency, that second term, the president that gets the second term does the shit that they were supposed to do because they don't have to worry about getting re-elected. So they do the things that they're supposed to do, and then we don't end up having fucking Nancy Pelosi having insider trading, having a fucking a store in the Senate where she sells her alcohol.
And
Like,
and we get rid of career politicians.
yes, well, Biden is a perfect example. He's been in government for 50 fucking years and didn't do a goddamn thing with it. And by the time he got to be president, the brainworms that were in his head had devoured the last of the cells that were actually active.
I'm sick and tired of the silent generation not letting go of power. Did you catch that? Silent generation. They're older than the fucking boomers.
They're dying soon enough. I do.
And
Look,
I feel sorry for Gen X because they're just now going to be skipped over on the government thing because we're all sick and tired of these old assholes.
look, I don't like AOC. I think she's an idiot. I do. But, like the whole squad, I think I've said this before.
Probably.
I would rather younger politicians come in. Like, JFK becoming a president at what, 45 years old, was one of the youngest is the youngest president we've ever had.
Yeah.
And people were like, holy shit, he's so young, he's going to ruin everything, he doesn't know any better. Look, we need that young blood in Congress, we need that young blood in the Senate, we need that young blood, that fire, that passion in our government. Look, the fucking Supreme Court is a perfect example. What's her name? Ruth Bader Ginsburg was not going to leave her seat until they actually cremated her. And then the urn was going to sit there and still make judgment of things. Like, it's...
That's an image I didn't want.
just an urn sitting in the seat, not saying anything, having people talk for it. A worse version of Weekend at Bernie's.
Well, we already have I believe it's a congresswoman who's doing that exact same thing. She's in a old folks home. She hasn't voted once in like 2 or 3 years because she's been there. And
she's for dementia, I believe. But we have to wait until the next election cycle. No, we don't. She's not doing her job. There's the 20th Amendment
in the Constitution for this.
Yeah, they threatened Donald Trump with it. They threatened Biden with it. They're going to threaten Trump again with it again. Like, Atheist points out, J.D. Vance be the youngest. He's the second youngest. All right, Trump dies because he's looking kind of rough, I'll admit.
Well, he's had like 5 assassination attempts, and one kind of almost like successfully took out its ear.
I know. Well, I know of 2. I didn't know about the other 3.
Yeah,
but
there's been a
like,
lot.
I'm just saying he's old. Give us young, someone who's passionate. Look, Trump. I'm not saying Trump's not passionate. Okay, I'm not. He is. He is a passionate human being. He's an asshole. He's passionate about what he does and what he believes. That's fine. But I'm talking about bringing in someone younger. Like, I know the joke in the meme was we're going to have AOC running for president at the end of Donald Trump's first term, and that didn't happen. But the debates were going to be amazing. Listen, let AOC run for president. Go for it. Then we don't have idiots like Kamala Harris and fucking, what's her name, Elizabeth Warren and all of them. AOC is, I'm not saying she's smart. She's smart-ish. I'm just saying she has the ability to age in a time and understand with the people of that age group. She's what? In her late 30s?
Yeah, she's about our
I think
age.
she's in mid-30s.
She's about our age.
So,
but what
I mean,
amuses me with this whole thing about Trump being president, And I know I've told you this when it happened, but we were on season break. What amuses me is that the Amish, almost every single Amish voted for Trump. A lot of the liberals voted for Trump. You want to know the reason why? It's simple. It was America's fuck you vote. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
same reason why people are going to Little Red Book. It's we're sick and tired of this government telling us what we can and cannot do, how we should live, where we should go, and all of that. It was America's fuck you. We're sick of the pro quo. Nobody
Yeah,
really wanted Trump. Nobody really wanted them. They just didn't want somebody that was a career politician.
Um, well, the vote against Trump lost presidency. So, all right, Trump got his first in because no one wanted Hillary Clinton.
God,
It
no.
wasn't about policies, and I've said this before. I'll say it again, and I'll continue saying it until it fucking changes. It was not about. It was not about Trump's policies and him being a good president. It was because he was better than Hillary Clinton, and he was someone that, like, oh, we could have a beer with him. I don't fucking care if I could drink with the man. I want to know that he's going to run the country.
A lot of people that had that deals with the docks and shipping and all of that shit, they're like, oh, we already seen what Hillary could done because she was basically the one running when Clinton was in office. We don't want that again.
And then when Biden came up, Biden's not worth a damn, but they didn't want Trump. So they voted against Trump. Now they didn't want Harris. So we got Trump. We got two. It's not even the South Park joke, shit sandwich and a turdsicle. It was literally we're
Turd
voting.
sandwich in a douchebag.
So whatever the joke is, we're literally just voting for a shit sandwich on both sides at this point in time.
And here I am voting third party other than last time because fuck the third party. There was no good candidate on the third party this last time. And I hate it.
There hasn't been a good third party candidate since we were in our early teens.
Fair, but still.
And he got turned into a giant meme because of Nickelodeon.
I still say Johnson was pretty decent, but he stopped trying.
Well, then there's, what's her name? Jill Stein. Jill Stein used to be normal.
She's
and
crazy.
Then she went off the fucking rails.
Yeah, and atheists, that's also true. They don't campaign very well. And if they do start campaigning because of something that happened in the early 2000s, it kind of dies. Because the early 2000s, thanks to the Democrats, has started this whole smear campaign bullshit.
Well, a lot of the time, like Jill Stein's campaign for the last 2 years, two presidential the last two presidential elections was basically we're making drugs illegal. We want the stoner vote. Why? Why do you want the stoner vote? They don't go out and vote.
Yeah, I do.
You are not a stoner.
Do I need to prove it?
I could prove I'm a stoner. I've seen Seth Rogen movies.
I have the equipment. Actually, I also ran a whole stoner stream in the early 2000s. 2018. That's when I had that stream. Pre-Scooby shit.
What is it? Stuck in a maze? How's it going? Stuck in a maze? It just says, Is this my real voice?
Yeah.
Well, I am speaking. Like, I'm not using AI. So, possibly.
I would like to point out that Antwon is a voice actor, so you could get 20 different voices if you really, 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 really want to. But yeah, these are our real voices. We make these with our own voice cords.
All right. Do you? We're going to shift real quick.
Do we want to go back on topic and go to the Reddit?
Not yet, because I want to talk. Have you been following the Andrew Tate stuff?
Loosely, very, 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 very loosely. I've been doing Winter Guards shit.
Fair. That's very fair. You've been doing very important things with your color guard, which.
Hey, Maze! No, we are not going to bash ourselves. Your voice sounds amazing. I don't care if I have never heard it, but I am deaf. Everybody has a beautiful voice. We're not bashing ourselves. Everybody's perfect in their own ways.
Apparently, there is an ad break in progress. So Maze didn't hear a single thing you said.
Anyways, back to bitching about me and how busy I've been. I missed everything because Winter Guard.
So I'm just going to talk through the ad break, and they can pick up whatever.
I mean,
So,
YouTube exists.
Andrew Tate is being charged with a slew of things.
Yeah,
right?
that I do know.
Sex trafficking, theft, sex with a minor, sex trafficking a minor for the purposes of sex, rape, abuse, so blah 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 blah.
He is a pig
Did you
on
know?
pigs. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, he is an amazing con artist. I will give him that. He has apparently had his case dismissed going on 6 times now. None of it is true, but he has his critics, his tater tots, believing that his case is dismissed. And he recently went on a very, very, very popular right-wing podcast, Benny Johnson. Do you know who that is?
Why does it sound so familiar?
I have no idea who Benny Johnson is, but I do. But I do know that he is very popular in the right-wing sphere. Now.
Oh, okay. I know who he is.
Okay, good.
He's a YouTuber.
Because I don't. I just know that he has a YouTube channel, that he has a podcast, that he got Andrew Tate to come on, and basically, if there was an equivalent of actually blowing someone live on camera with words and a fluff piece, it would be Benny Johnson towards Andrew Tate. And on that podcast, he had brought on a Trump advisor. Okay. And she was very smitten with Andrew Tate.
Ew.
Well, the right, and I would say a good chunk of the MAGA crowd, was not happy with this. To the point that Ben Shapiro basically said, Andrew Tate needs to be, like, you can talk to him, you can platform him, but there is a difference between platforming him and doing what Benny Johnson did, which was, raise him up and fluff piece and basically gobble knob live on camera. So this is someone who has Andrew Tate has his followers convinced that he is free, right? Mm-hmm. That the documents that are in his case have been deleted, all 11,000 of them. They're not in his file anymore. He's being held under false pretenses. The Matrix is attacking him. And then he publicly he's been on house arrest for almost a year and a half. Finally, he gets a Bucharest judge says, you know what? He needs to be taken off a house arrest. And Andrew Tate's like, see, I told you the case is dismissed. 2 days later, the appeals court says, nope, you're back on house arrest. And he's still got people coming at me because, I think pointing out that everything that Andrew Tate is being charged with are things that he's bragged about is apparently odd.
Well,
Hold on, what does Maze say? Maze, you have the voice of an actual anime character, completely siren-like. Meanwhile, your boy over here with the voice of an English aristocrat that Prince Harry merely wishes he could emulate. Wow, thank you very much.
I still
Says
say
I'm
you
third.
probably have a better voice.
Then says, if you pay rent, tell his dad to kick rocks.
I laughed at that when I saw that, to be honest.
My British voice sounds like an American talking like a jackass. Or rather, being a jackass.
I am not joking when I say I've heard Aussies say that's the type of describe that specific voice and say that's the type of voice they would listen to all day.
What?
not
An
even
American
kidding.
American sounding like a jackass?
A condescending
this-
American. It's mostly what they would say. It's the same thing.
Well, I mean, curious, what percent of Andrew Tate's followers do you two believe are actually genuine? I mean, we all know they can be purchased. All right. How many bot followers do I think he has? I think that he has a tremendous amount of bot followers. I think he's probably got maybe, I would say, 25% of the audience that he actually has. Everything else.
To say that all of these are our opinion based. We do not want to be sued. And
Oh no, I've already been threatened to be sued by Tristan.
And I believe a lot of them are fake accounts by Pearl.
It's just Pearl buying account after account. All right, I'll buy that. Headcanon approved. No, I think Mace says, I have trouble believing that much more than a small percent of people are actually stupid enough to. Here's the thing, all right? I have listened to Tate. He is very charismatic, extremely charismatic, and he says things. He does the same thing that Myron Gaines does. He does the same thing that Pearl does. He does the same thing that Rolo does, and a lot of these other, I don't want to call them extremists, because I don't think they're extremists, but a lot of these extreme thought processes, they take an extreme. Right now, going on Twitter, apparently there is a slut war between two OnlyFans creators going on right now to break the world record of how many men they've slept with in a single day. And one woman has slept
on TikTok.
Yeah, she has slept with 1,027 men in one day. I don't know how. I don't want to think of the mechanics. I don't want to know about time limit. Like a guy pushes in 30 seconds, he's done. I don't care. They take that extreme of, oh, look, this woman who is a porn actress is, I don't do the whole corn stuff. Fuck that. I'm going to say what it actually is. Porn. She's a porn actress. And they take that extreme and then say, see, women with an OnlyFans do things like that. And since all women in America have OnlyFans, they're all thoughts. They're all sluts. They're all whores. Every woman has a 30-person body count by the time she's 17. Like, this is they take these extreme examples and add just a touch of logic to it. And that whole logic that is truth is what their followers grasp onto while partially ignoring what they say. Because I've dealt with these people for the last 3 years. I am ingrained. I read Myron's pamphlet of a book. I know how they think.
Yeah,
so they
you
take
kind of tortured me and Ishtar with that.
You know what? I didn't torture anyone with it. It was voluntary.
Voluntary torture, still torture.
Yeah, but then you're asking for it.
But question:
What?
would you like the sociology, psychology, reasoning behind the following and all that?
No, I understand all of that, but if you want to go for it.
I could just.
I didn't tie you
terms.
to a chair. I did not tie you to a chair.
Anyways,
I
layman terms.
handcuffed you to a desk. There is a difference.
Anyways, layman terms, we had the MGTOW. There's the word.
Yes.
English second language. Anyways, the MGTOW, and then we also have the incels. Now we have the red pill, which is just basically the other two blended up together. The Tate Boys, the Tate Boys basically talks to them, makes them feel like they are heard.
Yes.
Hence his followers. And then you have pygmies like Pearl, who's why I'm pretty sure she's probably most of those fake followers. Has to put the one that they're trying to get picking them up on a pedestal, and then repeats everything that boy says. The MGTOWs and the incels have pygmies. Why? I don't know.
1,057 different men in 12 hours. That's.
And they all had to sign a contract too.
Yeah, I know.
And three of the guys opted out last minute.
So it was going to be 1,060. Awesome. At least the 3 men who opted out were smart.
Hey, each to their own. We don't shame kinks.
I'm not kink shaming. I'm not. Like, if I don't know how, she didn't feel anything after the first hour. But look, I understand why they follow Tate. I do. Like I said, they speak to them, they talk to them, they make them feel like they're being heard, but they also take things like, Myron is perfect example with his book, trying to make young men feel like just because they got ghosted once, that they are going to be ghosted 1,000 times. And that's just how women are. They take that small amount of truth and stretch it into whatever they say. And it's dumb. And when you try and they have them so snowblowed and just mind wiped and brainwashed that this is how it is, that young men have stopped interacting with women. Now, I will admit, all of the pro-feminist, like extreme feminist stuff in the early 2016s did not help that. The kill all men hashtag did not help that. Me Too did not help. All of this stuff didn't help that. It's we don't kink shame here unless that's your thing. Well, I approve of a good degradation kink.
I love how that's in quotes, and I know exactly what moment that fantasy is referring to. And yes, that is something I have said.
So that's how they get these people believing them. Maze says, let's be real, most of these men who are incels, forever virgins, are terrified of women, period. It's not that they've been shut down as such. They have never tried and are terrified of doing so.
I would like to
then
add
they
to
latch
that
onto
one.
movements like this. Yes.
Yes, I agree, but there's also a second version of incels that refuses to let go of one Pacific girl who has told him no multiple times.
Yeah, and there are men now who have taken incel as, their new ideology.
Yeah.
It's all fucking dumb. That's why one of the biggest things that I know when I'm talking to them, that I can tell they've never actually talked to women, is they use these extreme examples of all women.
Here's a thought. On TikTok, there's a viral thing going around of this guy saying, why does everybody that's got in an open relationship have that look? The thing is, here's what I'm saying. Why does all incels have that look? I don't have to describe the look. We know what the look is.
It's because like May said, they're afraid. Like
It's
most
because they
open
make
relationships.
one thing their whole identity. It's the same thing for when there's people that happen to be gamers, and then there are gamers. They make one thing their whole identity.
Yeah, it's the and to be fair, the open relationship thing, most of the time it was one person wanting an open relationship and the other person just going along with it because they didn't want to lose their partner.
Or they're just tired of it, the constantness, and just don't feel like dealing with the out of the relationship and the dating scene. I've seen that too. But yeah, it's usually one person.
But like this incel movement, the MGTOW is still around, but it's not as prevalent as it used to be, which is great. But now this whole red pill thing the red pill is dying.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I am saying when, and I'm not saying if, I'm saying when Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate are convicted and thrown to prison, the red pill will officially start to die. Myron and Fresh and Fit have lost most, like 90% of their monetization. They are continuing to lose subscribers. Pearl is nothing more than a laughing stock online. She tried starting her own. Tried starting her own network that never went anywhere. She can't hold down a fucking point to save her life. You know the red pill. Rolo is blocking mass people who disagree with him. He's losing subscribers. He got his wife divorced him. You know, all of these people are dying. I don't mean physically. I mean their audience is dying, and it will never go away.
The fad is fading.
Yeah, there'll be another one. There'll be another one that jumps up. It starts to gain momentum. They start to think they're ruling the world. This is taking over. We're changing and nothing fucking happens. Okay, nothing, because they're not organized. It's fucking dumb. Like they take this attitude, because here's the thing. All right, let's take the incel attitude. All right, the incel philosophy is all about how women hate men and how they use them for everything. And, you know, they're nothing more than leeches, and they're going to take your money. They're going to take your supplies. They're going to take your seed. They're going to give birth to your child. They're going to baby trap you. You're going to pay for them for the rest of their lives, and they're going to live on easy street. Women are on easy mode. I think I've summed it. I think I've summed it up pretty well. Do you want to know when that changes? When they actually sack up and talk to a woman, and they actually start meeting actual women who don't treat them like they're scum because they don't leave their fucking basements. They go away. That incel philosophy disappears.
Ishtar. Men are pretty much demonized these days.
I agree with that. And part of that is because of things like I said, the Me Too movement got abused. Kill all men became a popular hashtag. White men are the worst of the worst, according to DEI. Our voices are not supposed to be listened to in the least. Like, men have been demonized for the last, I would say, two decades.
I think this was another topic we had while we were on season break, where we were talking about it with What's His Bucket's little stupid book you were torturing us with. Men and women both have it equally hard, just in different areas.
Yes. And unfortunately, like when Myron or Andrew Tate use a woman's example, like they use a woman as an example, they basically use what a man views as a woman. Right? A man thinks a woman thinks the same way they do. right? If a woman doesn't want to sleep with you 24/7, she has lost interest in you and she is just looking for the next man. When women who are sexual beings who enjoy having sex do not always have the highest sex drive. Men have higher sex drives than women on average.
Mhm.
And that's not saying women aren't sexually attracted to men. Lord knows Myron believes that because he had an entire 2 chapters about it in his 8-chapter book. Sorry, 7-chapter book, because the first chapter wasn't even his words, but I digress.
I mean, a good way to look at it when it comes to men versus women on easy mode, men get diagnosed easier than women. Men have most medical things based off of them, so it's easier to diagnose them because, God forbid, we look into women's health physically. When it comes to mental health, women have easy time being diagnosed, where men are basically told, shut up. Where women are told physically to shut up, men are told mentally to shut up.
Believe it or not, I have a perfect example of what you're saying.
I'm scared.
And you should be, because it involves Count Dankula.
Oh, God.
So Count Dankula posted kind of a MGTOW / red pill type thing, talking about how I'm not saying he's going down that path. He did go through a pretty rough divorce.
Well,
I
you're
will
not
say
wrong
that.
there, but
So he's not in the right, like, if this was 2 years ago, I don't think he would have posted it. So I think he's hurting. But he posted kind of a red pill meme of, don't ever open up to your woman because she'll use that against you and she'll never find you attractive again. And I pointed out very simply that this is an L take. This is a bad take for the fact that if your wife is not someone you can open up to emotionally and show that emotion, then there's something really wrong, because you can't do that with your boys. You cannot have an emotional breakdown in front of your boys, because men don't know how to handle that. Men are not emotionally intelligent. Okay, we can understand our own emotions, but when one of our friends starts and I'm not talking about opening up, I'm talking about an emotional breakdown where you are sobbing, your male friends have no fucking clue what to do with that. And that's what I pointed out. And I had it fucking blew up. Like, my phone was going nuts. And it wasn't and it was, I would say it's about 70-30. I was having men and women agree with me, saying that's exactly right, you're supposed to be able to talk to your woman, things like that. But the 30% took that as an offense to them, and that I was 100% wrong because I have no idea what I'm talking about, because I am a emotionally cucked simp. And I'm trying to talk to them and be like, look, if you can't open up to the woman that you are spending 24/7 with, there is something wrong. Because men bottle their emotions. They don't let it out. And then when they do, it is a violent explosion, because we are emotionally not unstable. We are emotionally not amateur. What's a good word? We are emotionally handicapped. Okay? Immature. We are emotionally immature. So our emotions as men, because we don't talk about them, men are being pushed as, you have to be stoic, you have to be the rock, you can't show your emotions, you better not fucking cry. I don't care if your mother was killed in front of you, you shed a tear and you're less than a man than you used to be. That's what the old fucking ideal of a man was. We have, as a society, evolved.
Thankfully.
We understand that our emotions, well, most people understand that our emotions are something that we can't always control.
This circles back to our conversation about how the government. It's the younger generations, millennials, zennials, some zennials, not all zennials. Most of the zennials are more Gen Xy, but it's some of the zennials, millennials, and Gen Z. I don't know about Gen Alpha; they're just starting high school. They starting to take mental health serious. They're starting to see that men's mental health is a problem. The reason why we have 21 a day is not because that our soldiers are being left alone. It's we don't care about men's mental health. And that's a
And
problem.
yes, and I want to point this out, and I want to get it through before the ad starts in 4 minutes. Maze says sometimes you have to bottle it. Men sometimes need to be a foundation for women. If the foundation seems rocky, then the women may look for more secure ground. That's just the way it really is. Not Andrew Tate crap, but just the way it is. And he doesn't mean always, but sometimes men have to be strong like that. And they're right. Maze is right. Men do need to have that. Men do need to be that stable rock.
This circles back to like the conversation we have in every stream we've had since the start of Threads of Truth. Communication is key.
Communication. Yes, communication is key. Now, Maze also pointed out, yes, your wife, but if it's a girlfriend, here's the thing. If it's a girlfriend and you do this in the first month of the relationship, okay, yes, the girlfriend's going to fucking, oh, look, it's time to go, and grab her bags and fucking leave. But if this girlfriend has been with you for 3-4 years, if it is a long-term relationship,
6 months.
oh, I don't know about 6 months. I would say more 9, like getting close to that year mark. I would say getting close to that year mark, yes. Like it's a long-term relationship. More often than not, you've been talking about moving in with them. You're getting fucking serious, right? Yes, you should be able to open up. So it's not something like, oh, you need to fucking do this every day. Men, yes, we hold in our emotions, but that's how we normally are. I'm not talking about being overly emotional. I'm talking about being able to feel comfortable enough with the person you're with, who you trust and who trusts you, to emote, to be open to that. Because if you're not, then you bottle it up, and when it comes out, it's violent. It's an argument that turns into you putting your fist through the wall, breaking dishes, strangling someone. Like, that's what happens. And men snap because they don't know how to handle those emotions. And I got into it but I had a conversation with someone who basically said that men are getting, like, brought up the studies because I pointed out that women are more emotionally mature.
Mm-hmm.
And they are, because they deal with their emotions early on, right?
There's science behind that.
Well,
I think it's women are 2 years on average more emotionally mature than men.
Yeah, and to be fair, and it's changing. Like, even 10 years ago, women were vastly more emotionally mature than men. But it has changed because there have been more, and Ishtar brought up a really good point. And it's because women used to stay at home and deal with their children, who have no emotional filter. Okay, they have no clue how to handle their emotions. So women who are staying at home with the children would have to learn to understand that and be able to read it. Now that we have more men staying at home now too, they're evolving over time in order to be able to do that. So men are becoming more emotionally mature now, but we're still behind women. And that's the problem. See, Mania says, exploded before 100% and hated that side. I've done it too. I've put my fist through a wall It sucks. I didn't like being that angry.
So we have derailed the stream for an hour and a half.
Well, I mean, that's normal. Let's be fair.
Let's use this last 30 minutes to we'll get to the Reddit that Ish gave us because
Oh, yeah.
oh my god. I just read the headlines. I've been reading headlines all day for our little game that we were going to play to replace TikTok. And then she sends that, and I'm like, well, that took the cake.
All right. We'll start with a couple Reddits first, and then we'll do the game.
Okay.
Because I want to get to that too. I have a couple. So we'll do that one first.
Okay.
Then I have a I Don't Work Here Lady, which is titled 2 for 1. Am I the asshole for proving that my ex lied in court?
Into bingo we go.
And am I the asshole for not telling a man I'm pregnant?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Circle back. She what?
Well, am I the asshole for not telling a man I'm pregnant?
I need details.
Well,
I can't
we'll
say
get
yes
to-
or no without details.
We will get to that one. But I want to start with today I fucked up by accidentally convincing my roommate we're getting married. This is going to be interesting.
Right? I don't even remember the first one anymore. I'm hung up on the second one.
So... apparently there are ads now. Well, mine says the ad break is going to end in 7 seconds. So
Mine says it ended.
all right. Today I fucked up by accidentally convincing my roommate we're getting married. Are we ready for this?
No.
I didn't think so. Here we go. All right. So a little backstory for context. You better goddamn give context for that headline.
Yeah.
I moved in with my roommate about a year ago because the rent in this city is ridiculous.
Which city you living in? Los Angeles? Red,
It could be-
stop.
Let's see, where was I? And finding a decent roommate was like winning the Hunger Games. Not just winning the lottery, winning the Hunger Games.
I'm scared.
We clicked super fast. Same sense of humor, same obsession with Thai takeout. I can agree with that one. And somehow we never fight about cleaning. A miracle, honestly. Last night, we were chilling on the couch, watching this cringe rom-com. One of those friends to lovers plots where everyone knows they're going to end up together except them. I was feeling extra goofy and blurted out, "Yo, we should just get married. Like, why are we wasting time?" Okay, I want to point out that this Redditor has not said if they're male or female. But and I can't assume even if the roommate is a he. So I don't know. I don't know if they're the opposite sex. I don't think they say. I'm reading. We'll continue. He laughed. So I thought it was just a vibe. Like platonic banter, you know? Fast forward to this morning. I'm half asleep in my hoodie, face deep in coffee, and he walks in with the most serious expression holding a bread twist tie. My guy had turned it into a ring. He goes,
Oh my
"So
god.
were you serious last night?"
Oh
I
my
nearly choked on my coffee. Like, "Sir, what? I thought we were joking." My brain just blue screened while he stood there all hopeful. I panicked, laughed it off, and mumbled something about needing a real diamond if we're going to do this right. That's not the thing you say.
You just stepped in it further.
Now I am low-key avoiding him because I don't know if he's embarrassed, mad, or planning our wedding. It's awkward AF.
You did it to yourself.
TLDR made a dumb joke about marrying my roommate, and now he thinks I was serious.
Gee, I wonder what could have gave him that idea.
I'm sorry, you are now engaged. Congratulations. Because you didn't like, I understand you like your roommate, your buds, your pals. If you are female, I'm sorry, he likes you. Like, that's very obvious, and it's very obvious that you like him. The rom-com you were watching is your real life. And you made the joke that you should just get married. And then when he brought out a bread twist tie in the shape of a ring, you said you wouldn't do it unless there was a diamond involved.
Like I said, you did it to yourself.
There's going to be an update in about a month or two where the update is they're engaged.
Like Final Fantasy said, you dug this hole, deal with it.
Yeah, send the link. They got to be married now. There's no update that I can see. There's no original poster in the comments. It's just everybody kind of going, no, yeah, you're oh god, your screen exploded.
Somebody followed. I'm broken. 404 Banshee cannot be found. You did this to yourself.
Ishtar says, I saw this one post a long time ago between two guy friends who dared each other to date or something, and the poster wrapped it up with, we've been married for over a decade. He better give in or I'm gonna think he's gay. Sorry to tell you this. You kind of are. All right. So, all right. The question asked is, today I fucked up. Did they fuck up? Yes. Yes, they did.
They did this themselves.
All right. I'm going to get to the one that everybody is. Am I the antagonist? Am I the antagonist for not telling a man I'm pregnant?
Maybe. Most likely.
I love the start of this.
I need context.
It's two words that just make it sound like, oh, this is no big deal. Hey, all. Posting on a friend's behalf. She, 33 female, has just found out she is 7 weeks pregnant. The father...
Hey, I have a question. It's for a friend.
Yeah, quote unquote, for a friend. The father, 33-ish, male, has 3 boys. He's in a custody battle with the mother My friend is a single mother. My friend is a single mother, as is I being. Wow, they can't type. How they fucked all of this up. My friend is a single mother struggling, as is I, being the only one to know, have been her advice line, and I am not the one. Okay. Context from what I get from this is a friend of hers who is 33, is already a single mother who has now found out she is 7 weeks pregnant by a father who is in the middle of a custody battle, a father of 3 who is in the middle of a custody battle with the mother. Which means, context-wise, this was the other woman. I am very it is what it is, and she is more so someone that wants a reason or looks for signs. Just talking to her about options, it's obvious to me she doesn't want to keep it, and I support whatever decision she makes. Our conundrum: does she tell the father? They're not in a relationship. They've been talking and obviously had spicy time 3 times in the last 4 to 6 months. Like I said, this woman is the mistress. They're not in a place to be in a relationship, and based on an onlooker, I would say he's not the one that will make my friend happy because she's the other woman. But also, I would support if she was gonna try to be. One hand, it's her body and decision, and ultimately the one it truly affects. Nothing says he has to do shit to help her, and she's already done that. She already has a girl she adores and solely cares for. And what if he tried to guilt her when she's already made a hard decision and doesn't want him trying to change the outcome? Other hand, you've already said the other hand. This is option 3. I get
What
that
is
if
there?
he
Some angel dust? Do we have 8 hands?
maybe I get that if he found out she aborted a baby, what is his reaction? Does it matter? Men and women feel differently, I'm sure. I would have to know and be irate, but what I don't know can't kill me. What do we do?
Yeah, the way that's written, that's definitely not for a friend.
No, that's her trying to write like she's a friend, but it's
I
actually.
called that one. But okay. Again, her body, her choice, blah blah blah. We know my stance on that. Now, I will say abortion's kind of maybe a good option right here, but also you're the actual father. Probably, if you were to tell him that that's what he would push, and that it's your body, your choice.
The
But
way
you
that
should
the
be
way
telling the men you are dating you are pregnant.
Well, remember, they're not dating. They just hooked up for spicy time 3 times in 4 to 6 months. He's okay.
Well, if
Let's
there's
let's
no connection, then
if there's truly no connection and they've only hooked up 3 to 4 times in 4 to 6 months, it's her choice. If she doesn't want to keep it, she doesn't keep it. That's on her. If this is obfuscation, and she's just trying to make it sound that it's not her, and that she's trying to make herself seem like she's not the other woman, well, it's more so you should probably tell him and tell him what decision you made. And that will also solidify what type of person he thinks she is.
yeah.
Now, if he flips out, like, I want to keep the baby, blah, 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 I want to make this work. All right, he's a decent man. And if she changes her mind, she changes her mind. But if he's like, no, get rid of the little fucking thing, well, then right then and there, this is not the guy you want to invest your emotions into. This comes down to choice and understanding who you slept with. Like, and this is a very good stress test on who he is. He's already going through a custody battle. Now, if you like this person, I understand you not wanting to stress him out more by saying, hey, we were dumb. We didn't use protection during one of our spicy times, and there is now another little you growing. I get that that's going to be kind of like,
This
oh,
also
fuck.
kind of sort of sounds like one of those Chinese dramas that pops up on TikTok every now and then. Not
It's not,
K dramas. K dramas have more to them. This sounds like one of those Chinese little dramas that pops up on TikTok every now and then.
I was going to say,
CEO man.
I was going to say more telenovela. We're going to find out that the baby is not really his, it's his evil twin, Roberto.
CEO man slept with girl. Girl now pregnant with CEO man. CEO man finds out. That's what it sounds like. Something you would watch on TikTok. That's one of those Chinese dramas. And the only reason I know they're Chinese dramas is I actually went looking for one of them.
You and Ishtar both watched them. Like there was a point in time in while Ishtar was at work when we were really slow during the changeover over the buyout, where no one had any work to do. She was sitting at her desk on YouTube watching these Chinese dramas, and she got really, really invested.
I like K dramas more, to be honest, but the Chinese dramas just have so much more fake drama in them.
So, but to answer her question, is she the asshole for not telling him? She's already made the choice, right? She's already made the choice that she's going to not keep it. At least that's what was kind of implied. No, I don't think she's the asshole for not wanting to tell him. They're not serious. It's something that happened. It probably might have been a mistake. I'm using probably as a heavy lifter in that sentence, but I don't think she's an asshole for it. And I also don't think she has to tell him. Now, if they were in a relationship, that's different. She's an asshole for typing like that. Yes, yes, she is.
I mean, she's what, 7 weeks pregnant now?
Yeah,
The
so
DNA
she's not
change
even.
is already happening, so.
But she's not showing. Like, there's not much going on. It's still very tiny.
Also, the hormones are already kicking in.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, that's
I
up
have-
to her. But I mean, she's the other woman, and she's stupid for how she wrote. She should be
Yeah.
an editor for CNN with that.
It would be less. It would be more understandable at that point.
Right.
All right. This is in I Don't Work Here, Lady Reddit thread, and this is called 2 for 1. And it says 2 stories here.
I'm
First
scared.
one. I'm a private bartender.
Even
At an
scared.
event. What?
I'm even more scared.
Why? Because they're a private bartender.
Do you know what kind of stories you get as a bartender? I
Yes.
do.
Yes, I do. Believe it or not, I worked in a casino and one of my best friends was the bartender. I've heard some shit.
I miss the club. Don't miss bartending.
All right. At an event I was working, a guest accidentally spilled a glass of wine into my ice chest. Wow. Accidentally. So I had to make a run to a nearby supermarket to restock. I run in, grab a couple of bags of ice. I'm wheeling my cart around to the register, and a man comes up to me, jiggles a box of candy in front of me, points at an empty shelf, and asks if I'm going to check if I have more of these in the back. I'm wearing suit pants, a black button-up vest, tie, and dress shoes at a store where the uniform is a grey polo with dark jeans. I know what store he works at. I know what store they're in. I ask him if it looks like I work here, and he gestures at my outfit like I'm the dumb one here. I told him, actually, yes, I think we do. Wait right here and I'll grab some. Stay here. Don't make me look for you. Then left. All right, that's the first one. Second one. I also frequent a store where the uniform is jeans and a Hawaiian shirt. Sounds like a store I would enjoy working at. This is basically what I wear on the daily. I like this person already. And while I do get mistaken for an employee when I shop there, I'd say it's a lot more reasonable. One time, however, I saw another guy wearing the same thing as me and said to him, "Pretty dangerous wearing that here. I get mistaken for an employee a lot when I shop." He looks at me, realizes we're wearing the exact same outfit. We have a laugh about it and chat for a bit. A store manager comes up behind us and says, "Do you two need something to do, or are you going just to talk all shift?" The guy and I absolutely lost it laughing, and she very quickly realized the mistake and apologized profusely. "I don't work here, lady."
Sit. Stay. Good Karen.
All right. Last one. Am I the asshole for proving that my ex lied in court?
What? Any contents?
We're getting there. Be patient. I'm building suspense. This happened a few months ago, and I still feel conflicted about it. My ex, Sarah, 28 female, and I, 29 male, split up last year. It wasn't amicable, and things went ugly when she filed for custody of our dog Milo. Oh boy. Milo is a pug we got together for me. I used to pass out a lot, but I recovered from it now. I was the only one who trained him, paid for his food, vet bills, and even his adoption fees. Milo is basically my best friend, and Sarah knows it. She is trying to get custody just to piss me off. I don't like Sarah. Sarah's argument in court was that she was Milo's primary caregiver and that I was too busy with work to properly care for him. She painted this sob story about how I used to beat both Milo and Sarah, and it was completely false. It says if, and if was completely false. I'm assuming they meant it. She even bought fake photos of her scars and her playing with Milo, which were obviously staged after we broke up. The thing is...
Same, Maze, same. I was thinking the exact same thing.
The thing is, I had evidence of my own. See, Milo has a very specific routine. He hates peanut butter, which is unusual for a dog, and he only responds to certain commands I taught him in French. Sarah doesn't speak French and didn't even know about the command because she never helped train him. So in court, I calmly asked if I could demonstrate Milo's training. The judge allowed it, so I brought Milo into the courtroom. I have his commands in French, and this person is using autocorrect on their phone and didn't catch what they wrote. I gave him commands in French. What?
I said I do that a lot to you. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I have become pretty fluent in Banshee-ese. I gave him commands in French, and he followed every single one perfectly. Then, just to be sure, I asked Sarah to try. She tried saying something like, sit, roll over. Milo just stared at her like she was speaking gibberish. After that, the judge asked Milo to make the decision. How do you ask the dog to make a decision? I don't... We're going to leave that one out, and it kind of makes it sound like this is fake. And, without surprise, he ran towards me instead of Sarah. The judge ruled in my favor, but Sarah was furious. She accused me of humiliating her on purpose and drugging Milo. Her family and friends are now calling me a petty jerk who just wanted to win rather than find a compromise. Some of my own friends say I could have handled it more diplomatically instead of showing her up in court. One, why do you fucking care about what her family and she say, or her friends? And two, for your friends who said you could have handled it more diplomatically, What is more diplomatic than proving it in court with evidence? There is no more diplomacy than that.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, my service dog is trained with ASL, German, Korean, and French. There is no way anybody that's not me can get her to do tasks that's not what she's supposed to be because it's so many different languages.
I'm with Maze. There was Chekhov's peanut butter mentioned in this post, and it never came up again.
Right?
What did the peanut butter have to do with it? This is bad writing. The plot was too simple, and I could see the ending coming.
And it was Swiss cheese. So many holes.
This plot wasn't Swiss cheese. This was pretty
But the peanut
fluid.
butter, it played no part where that was a whole.
Well, yeah, it's a plot hole. That's why I said it's Chekhov's peanut butter. What was it? What the fuck does it have to do with anything? Again, Maze says, I thought it was going to come into play. That's how she'd lose the dog and end up in jail.
Thought.
Look, all of you are bragging about your languages. You all are bragging about your languages. Listen, I speak 5 languages. Do you want to hear them? English, bad English, snark, sarcasm, and red pill.
Oh, I thought Banshees was one of those that you were fluent with. Isn't that what you just said 5 minutes ago?
Banshee is written. It's like Sanskrit. You can't speak it.
Fair. But like I told my twin, you also get the Korean. You get the Korean laughs and all that stuff.
You also have an abundance of emojis at times.
True.
I deal with it.
And memes and GIFs and random sound clips.
I was getting random TikToks too, but that's not going to happen anymore. All right, you have a new game for me. Instead of going over TikToks, we're doing something else.
This is a new game for Antwon, not for the channel. This is an old one. This is back from Late Night Talk Show. One of many of those games is coming back. This one is it real or is it The Onion? You have to guess, headline alone, is it a real headline or is it an Onion headline?
How long ago did you do this game?
It was during when Scooby was on Chaos 120, and I
So
away.
like 10 years ago, 6 years ago. I'm not going to make us be that old.
Yeah,
was it like 6 years? All right. The Onion has become reality.
That's when it's also started. That's why I get this. Anyways.
Actually, I would say more the Babylon Bee has become reality.
Fair. You're going to be right on this. Okay, chat. Your rules when it comes to this is number 1 is The Onion. Number 2 is this is real. Okay, are we ready?
As I'll ever be.
Flight attendant stabbed and killed over layover in Denver.
Flight attendant stabbed and killed in layover in Denver. Mm-hmm. That's real.
Number 3, Antwon's wrong.
Well, I get my own options, so that works.
Yes, this is real. This actually happened today.
I'm not shocked. It's Denver.
one. Next one.
You know what? I need a point counter in the upper right-hand portion of the screen with the little ghosties. Just Antwon 1-0 right now. Just
Mark Zuckerberg is making Meta more MAGA friendly.
oh, this one's real.
Final answer?
It was all it was all over Twitter about him getting rid of the DEI stuff on Meta. It's real.
I am looking at it on the Onion.
But it's real. He did that.
I mean, I can believe that with some of the things, but
It's 1.5. So it's kind of real.
it's kind of real.
The Onion got it right. So technically, I have 2. So technically, since it's a 1.5, I'm 2 and 1.
So more like you're 0.5 and 1.5.
Oh, we got an ad going.
But yeah, that is actually on the Onion. And what does that say? Broken clock twice a day.
Yeah, I know. The thing is the Babylon Bee has gotten stuff right too, which is, and it's not the bee. It's like their satire site, and they're like, oh look, this happened. I guess we predicted it. Cool.
Yeah. Japanese fisherman catches 600 pounds of tuna. Breaks record.
What kind of tuna is it?
Mm,
You don't know?
it doesn't say. Headline.
Okay, there's not a little blurb underneath it, like the little
I'm
tagline.
not allowed to give you. That's not the rules.
Ah.
Headlines only.
I should get like a lifeline or something. I'm going to say it's real because yellowfin tuna can get up to like 400 pounds. So for tunas out there and they don't stop growing, and it didn't get eaten by a mako shark or something.
This is the Onion.
Is it? I'm not surprised, but like I said, yellowfin tuna gets to be up to like 400 pounds.
Meta expects to rake in billions in ad revenue alone after TikTok banned.
I'm trying to think why. Why would they because Facebook? Oh, okay. Because of Reels. They still have Reels.
Yeah, they own Instagram.
Yeah, that one's real.
Yep, it is from Business Insider.
Yeah, because of Reels, and it's what did you say before we went to break? You said not break as in commercial. Before we went on our winter excursions, you said that TikTok started the trends. A month later, Reels would pick it up, and then 2 months after that, it would show up on YouTube Shorts.
Yep.
So yeah, Reels is going to be the next one. People are going to be working on that because it's the same thing. And I think you can have it longer than what TikTok was till 3 minutes.
TikTok was 15 minutes.
Oh, you can have a 15-minute TikTok.
Yes.
There is what?
YouTube Shorts is 3 minutes. But you
Yeah,
get
they just
15 minutes for
update.
TikTok. YouTube Short or Instagram Reels is 2 minutes.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know the difference? So TikTok didn't really allow a lot of adult-oriented material.
Nope.
Reels will. Now, if you're watching Reels on Facebook, you don't get the adult content. You get the very hard PG-13 stuff. But yeah, that's Reels is going to be the new thing. So Zuckerberg is going to make another $1 billion for his robot overlords.
American Express launches new business on Saturday.
That's not fair. What's the picture?
American Express logo?
You can't tell, but I am looking at you sussly.
It's an American Express logo. That is the picture. And I'm not even supposed to give you what the picture is. The only reason I am is it's very unhelpful.
This is so fucking generic.
You want to circle back?
No, I'm going. Oh God. I'm going to say it's the Onion, and I know I'm going to be wrong. It is.
Yes. It's the Onion.
What's the business?
Yeah.
No, we've already done it. You gotta tell me what the business is.
I don't want to click the link. Then I lose everything. Small sweatshop business.
Oh shit. All right, yeah, I can see that.
Apple suspends error sworn AI generated news alerts.
Apple suspends
Errors?
erroneous AI created alerts.
Yes.
I know that has something to do with the alert system thing that happened. So it could be the Onion making fun of it because it happened on Apple, it happened on iPhones. I'm going to say this is real.
Yes, this is from the BBC.
So what happened was a mass scale evacuation message went out to people in LA who had iPhones that were not under evacuation.
Mhm.
And someone lost their job because of these. But yeah, the alerts went out, so I guess they're suspending the AI alerts. No, Ishtar was asking you to not break me.
I said I'll try. I can't promise anything. I'll try not to. It's not my fault some of these headlines are written the way that they are.
I don't even know. I know I've gotten 2 wrong. How many
Yeah.
have we done?
Total of 6.
I am 4 and 2. I'm good.
We are 4.1 and 1.1.
That's right. 4.5 and 1.5. I'm good.
Meta plans to save TikTok.
No, that's fake. That's an Onion article.
No hesitation. That's Onion.
Like we just had the real article talking about how Meta is planning on making millions with TikTok gone. Why would they save it?
More money?
It's not going to make them more money. They're going to make more money by having Reels, which is a stupid name.
People that refuses to go over to Reels. 1, because it's cringe. 2, they lobbied for it to go away.
Well, I understand that, but if TikTok is going away, they have to go somewhere. So they're going to go to fucking Reels, or they're going to go to YouTube Shorts, or they're going to wait for the next company to come up with something.
I mean, they're going to Red Note, and you can post.
And finding out that it's not as good as it's cracked up to be.
Where did it go? Immigrants drive Nebraska's economy. Trump's mass deportation pledges to be a threat.
One more time.
Immigrants drive Nebraska's economy. Trump's mass deportation pledges to be a threat.
I'm going to say this is I don't think
Good night,
immigrants.
Maze.
I don't think immigrants drive Nebraska's economy. I'm going to say this is The Onion.
NPR.
Ah, crap. Have a good night, Mace.
It is NPR.
All right, so I'm 5.5 and by 2.5.
Yeah.
Damn. What? I don't think immigrants drive. Nebraska has corn. That's it.
Yeah.
Corn and football.
Yeah. And do you know who does the jobs of farm hands?
Oh, it didn't say illegal God damn it. It didn't say illegal immigrants.
It's NPR. What do you expect? George R.R. Martin announces that he is writing every day and will appear in a
Oh,
next
that's The
book.
Onion. That's The Onion.
I didn't even need to finish.
You didn't need to. George R.R. Martin actually stated that he didn't think that he was going to ever finish the Game of Thrones series. I know they're not all illegal. Ishtar, you. I know not all immigrants are illegal. I think we work with half of them in Seattle. Bitch.
New feature coming to Instagram, teens accounts.
No, that's true. That's a real one.
Final answer?
Oh, I know it's a real one. I've seen advertising for it.
It's The Onion.
But it's real. I've seen advertising for it. Like legitimate commercials in the theater.
Interesting. It's still The Onion.
I understand it's still The Onion. It's still real.
Is The Onion starting to try and be real news now?
I don't know. How old is it? How old is the article you have pulled up?
September 13th, 2024. So last year. A few months.
Well, over a year ago. Well, no, you're right. A few months. They've had those advertisements out for like 2 months now. They predicted that they're the fucking Simpsons. They predicted it. I'm counting it as a win. I don't care.
Honestly, okay, I went and Googled. The reason for, and this is actually just started as of December, it's because Florida now has a law, and they're trying to they're trying to be in compliance of the law.
Yeah, well, that, and there was a huge, like, all last year, Zuckerberg was pulled in front of Congress for underage shit on Instagram and things like that. So that's also part of why he started this. Ishtar, I am so far from an incel, it's ridiculous. You know for a fact I'm not an incel. Do not make me get the handcuffs and the paddle.
You are now.
Handcuffs and paddle it is.
Where is it? I know it's in there.
What are you looking for?
There's this little. There it is. It's not me. It's just Ishtar, but it still counts.
That's right. You're not going to let a racist spank you because you have no choice.
Consent.
Don't make me quote. Do not make me quote Nicholas Fuentes, please.
I feel like I'm in the middle of mommy and daddy's argument. I'm just a cat. Treats?
Yes, Ishtar. Yes.
Racist and sexist.
All right, fine. I'm going to say it. It's going to get clipped or something. Ishtar, your body, my choice.
I'm so making that a sound clip.
Oh, God.
I have a sound clip of you saying I'm not a cheater.
I'm not a cheater. No, your caption says I'm not a cheetah, as in the cat. And then it corrected it to the right word. This is why we don't use AI captions. I'm just saying.
Oh, I spelled something wrong. Give me a second.
I'm a lying liar.
Oh, it's no E. I didn't spell it wrong. I added letters.
I do not cheat. Well, I can't hear it, so it's not a big problem for me. I do not, you lying hussy.
I love how somebody else played the I do not cheat, and you said right after it got done, I do not cheat, you hussy. Timing.
She just doesn't like that I beat her at most games.
I think Antwon is a mind reader.
Yes. And I'm
Maybe
reading
he
yours
had
right now. You are saying that it's past time for us to be done.
No.
No?
I'm not saying that. There's nothing in my head. Other than Winterguard. But you're not wrong. We're 4 minutes over. Which is not as much over as we normally are. We're usually 15 over.
Ishtar said all you're getting from Banshee's mind is the sound of wind.
Exactly! See, she got it! There's nothing there! Only fluff. Maybe a few TikTok sounds. You might find Felix.
Oh, wait, what happened when you joined Red Note? What was the first thing that showed up?
Hunjin.
I think you may have a problem, darling.
Hunjin was the first one, and it was a video that I hadn't seen on YouTube.
All right, are you ready to end this?
I guess.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us again on this return episode of Threads of Truth. My name is Antwon Creed, and I am the stupendous. I'm trying to think of other amazing words to describe me, but I'm losing them. But I am the awesome, stupendous, perfect co-host to Banshee and her channel. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some laughs. I hope you learned some things.
That's not how it works. That's not how
Sorry,
doing
something that says not how this works.
It's a sound.
Okay.
I hope this was a good first season for season 2.
Second season. We're on season 2.
Yeah, we're on season 2, first episode. Episode 1, season 2.
With only minor technical difficulties, they will get worse as the season goes on.
We have Bangchan for that.
So I hope you all had a wonderful time, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. I'm never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you.
No, you're not listening to this. No,
Never gonna tell a lie
fucking
and hurt
no.
you.
I'm not bloody. I'm not listening to this. I'm not.